Hey guys, what's up? Here we go, here we go, here we go. Things look good. Let me know in the chat if things sound right. I am trying out new stuff. There's music playing. If the music's too loud, just tell me and I can turn it down. Honestly, I can just tell it to be quiet. You'll notice in this video that there aren't like the fast jump cuts in this video. If you've watched some of my recent videos, I have an editing team, a production team working on them, and they're doing a great job. But sometimes the jump cuts are like super intense and all of the zooming and stuff. So there's none of that. This is just live. This is just me talking and hanging out with you. In this video today, in this live stream, we're going to be talking obviously about the markets, about Bitcoin's potential breakout over this line of resistance, but there are a lot of other coins that have been really exciting lately. Specifically, Bendog, a meme coin, shot up over 100% yesterday, 150% if I'm not mistaken. And other meme coins have also done extremely well, like Beer. I mean, recently we saw Boom, well, that was actually months ago, Boom, but like Mog shot up like crazy. So this is a good time to be trading. I'm actually trading as I'm doing this, so it's a little bit dangerous, but that's kind of the fun of this, right? So I'm glad to see a lot of you joining. This is great. So make sure that you hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed already, hit the subscribe button and share this live stream with others, because we're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff that I typically don't do. I actually haven't done a live stream on YouTube, I think in over a year and a half or so. It's been a long time, but I'm going to get back into it. It's not necessarily going to be a weekly thing because I need to keep some good stuff for the people in the club, but you guys are getting a taste of what I do in the Better Traders Club, and we'll talk about that later. But first off, let's go ahead. I need to see the likes up, and then I'll go ahead and I'll jump on over to talk about the chart for Bitcoin and what I expect to have happen. So I'm waiting for you. Waiting. Where is it? It's right there. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, let's go. All right, let's get going. All right. Ohayou gozaimasu. Yes. Good morning. By the way, it is morning for me here. It's evening for some of you around the world, but it is 9:37 currently in Japan. So maybe one of these days I'll do one of these live streams out and about. That's gonna be really hard because the connection's really bad usually. But anyway, let's just jump into this. So we are going to check over here on CoinGlass. So I've been updating our Better Traders Club members on this for a while, and for very, very, very good reason. So we are looking at the liquidation heat map. People share this all the time. You can follow CoinGlass on X or on Twitter, whatever you want to call it. But we've been paying attention to this for a while, specifically up until this point right there. And I'm going to go ahead and just zoom in on this point in time, because this liquidation zone right here, 2.78 billion, it says, 2.92 billion, got crushed. Bitcoin dropped just a smidge, just a hair. Actually, I'm going to keep that, and I'm going to go to our current day, because people that thought, well, that's a really strong liquidation wall, we're not going to really hit that, it's not going to push up higher. You know what? It did. And now we have the same thing happening here. We have at 72, we'll round up, okay? 72K, we got $2.93 billion of liquidation at 72K. Then we got 73K, 3.12, and then 74K, about $3 billion. So we have about $6 billion in leveraged positions that will get liquidated. It's just a matter of time. The same matter of time kind of situation as this back here. Shorts are going to get wrecked. That's my personal belief right now. Now, when is it going to happen? That's a great question. I don't know exactly when, but I am expecting it to happen. So let's go over to Trading View. Good. We're all good. So we have this overhead trend. And by the way, if the music's killing you, if it's too loud, let me know in the chat. It's actually killing me a little bit. I can hear it. That's a little bit too quiet. Maybe something like that. That to me is better. Even though I'm a musician, I can't listen to music and work. It drives me crazy because I focus on the music, and I don't want to focus on the music. I want to focus on the charts. So if the music is too loud, let me know and I'll turn it down, or I can just mute it. It doesn't bother me at all, trust me. It's mostly for all of you that have to have music in the background, okay? But I don't have a great way to like mute it on my end, so I'm listening to it, but whatever. Okay, so first off, we have this midterm line of resistance right here. We had a successful pierce right here on the 20th of May. That's because on the 20th of May, this is when the news about the Ethereum spot ETF was released and people were super duper happy and excited about it. And Ethereum shot up 19% in a day. Well, really like 20 if you count the wick. So Bitcoin caught wind of that, shot up higher, and it did a couple of things. Now, if you don't know what this business is right here, and I'm not talking about this one little line, I'm talking about this right here. So this squiggly line right here, the green to pink to green, this green mass down here and all these dotted lines, this is all the TBO indicator right here. The TBO indicator stands for trending breakout indicator. I have lots of people asking me this all the time. I use this indicator for everything. It is designed to identify breakouts, trending breakout indicator, and the strength of a trend, when a trend might be changing, or when a trend is really strong. So I need you to understand that because of a couple of things. I've talked about this and I've shared it many times on X, Discord, on here on YouTube. I've talked about this bottom line down here. So this bottom line down here is called the TBO slow line. It's a moving average, and it's a very slow moving average, hence TBO slow line. But here's the thing about this. If the TBO slow line is angling upward, which it is, it's angling upward, then we know that the trend is strong, even during extreme periods of chop, like we've seen all in here. This was Chop City, Count Chopula. It was bad news. It was not fun to be trading in here. But because the TBO slow line was pointing up, I had confidence to buy the dip. I had confidence to buy the dip on lots of alts, and I'm waiting for some of those positions to still close because alts always suffer more than Bitcoin does. But long story short, the TBO slow line has been strong and nothing about that has changed. Now, in regards to this trend line, if we hide the TBO and just look at a naked chart, make sure there aren't any kids around. We have this overhead trend line right here. We have a pierce of it here on the 20th, and then another pierce of it, but it's not a successful close. This is no good. This is no bueno, all right? Or in Japanese, we would say dame. It's dame. Dame desu. Because we didn't actually break above. But this is actually a good thing because it's called a test. And the more tests that we have, the better off we are. The more tests we have in a line of support and resistance, the weaker it becomes. And in this case, this is actually really positive for us because we want this line of resistance to be weakened. So we had, okay, movie reference for all of you that have seen The Shining. This is like Jack Nicholson stabbing the knife through the door. Like, here's Johnny. Like, this is the here's Johnny moment. And of course it comes back, but the axe is coming again, and then the axe finally broke through resistance. Okay, it's one way to think about it. I like analogies. I use them way too much. But yeah, here we go. All right, all work and no play makes Johnny a dull boy, right? So I'm gonna stop with the references, but the best news about this is that because we had a moment of weakness right here, because we had two punctures and we had a test right here, even though it didn't touch, this is still technically a test right there. Let me zoom in so that way you can see what I'm talking about. This is great because this is a sign of weakness. Sign of weakness. We had a pierce and then we had a close. So we have this arrow right here highlighting yesterday's close. Now I know for some of you in North America or other parts of the world, it's still the same day. The chart refreshes based off of the universal time clock or GMT, Greenwich Mean Time, whatever. So I'm UTC +9. So lucky for me, 9 a.m. is the start of every single market. It's great. So the market is just opened 45 minutes ago, or rather the daily candle has just started, and we have 1 day above. Now, while this is great, we actually need 2 more days. We have 1 day closed above. That's fantastic. We had a little bit of a shakeout here with this lower wick. Now it's Bitstamp. If I go to something like Binance, we didn't get that extreme of a wick. it's gonna change exchange to exchange. Not trying to sound like Dr. Seuss here, but different exchanges have different amounts of volume. You all should know that by now. So I like to use the chart for Bitstep because it's one of the oldest charts available, and I like going with the oldest charts for many, many reasons. Okay, so that's the first point of point of success. Now, we had a line here. I'm gonna go ahead and hide this trend line. See this red dotted line started all the way back there. So this red line right here is called TBO resistance. You can see the number right there, $70,069. And by the way, isn't it great that TradingView finally updated all their numbers to include a comma? I think it's a godsend. Oh man. So I'm just looking at, okay, good. I'm just looking at the comments real quick. Hello, hello, hello. So oh, I forgot. I have charts on the side here that I want to share with you, but there might be charts that you want me to look at. Feel free to drop them in the chat. And if you haven't hit the like button yet, slap yourself, then hit the like button, and then share it because you owe me. Okay, let's keep going. So on the daily time frame, this is really, really, really critical. The daily time frame is one of the best time frames to use for any indicator because the longer the time frame, the stronger it is. The longer, the stronger. So we got, sorry guys, coffee's kicking in. We have resistance right here at 70K. We rose above it when Ethereum, the Ethereum spot ETF pumped on the 20th of May, came back down, and then we have a new line of resistance up here. So our next line of resistance is at about 72K. Wait a second, didn't we just talk about that? Didn't we just, wait, what? Huh? 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 So this is a really, really good thing because we have a liquidation level of $2.93 billion just above 72K. And then again at 73K, and then at 74K. So what we're about to witness, in my opinion, is a liquidation cascade. So a liquidation cascade is one of the most exciting moments in any market. It doesn't have to necessarily be for crypto. It could be for commodities. It could be for stocks. But essentially, actually, a really good example is the GameStop stock, GME. So 2 years ago when Roaring Kitty was talking about GameStop and this whole short squeeze, it was back at $1. And he recognized that there were so many short sellers on it that if he rallied enough people to buy and push the price up, it would force all of those short sellers who are selling or borrowing shares and they're trying to rebuy it at a discount at a lower price, and that nets them profit. That's essentially what short selling is. I know for most people that aren't used to futures trading or using margin stuff like that, like shorting the market, it's a little bit weird, but just understand that shorting the market, you can make money. And it's originally created for a really good purpose to hedge your portfolio. There's nothing wrong with shorting the market. There's nothing wrong with shorting Bitcoin. If it gives a top signal, short it, make money. You can hold your Bitcoin, and then as the price goes down, you're making money. So you can use those profits to either add more into your leverage trading, or you can buy more Bitcoin. It's not a bad thing at all. So here's where things get interesting with the short squeeze liquidation analogy. So with the GME, the GameStop chart, we saw actually recently too, the price shot up over or whatever after hours a lot. It went up to like $40, $50, something like that, and then it came back down. So that's a short squeeze liquidation. Those can continue to happen because it puts pressure on all of the traders, or rather the short selling positions. It puts pressure on them. So when the price goes up, they're at a loss and they're forced to sell. They're actually forced to rebuy what they were selling. So they're forced to rebuy. That's a market buy. Market buys are going to buy from the highest asker. Yes, it's weird. Selling to the highest bidder, selling to the lowest asker. Ugh, it's hurting my brain. It's probably hurting your brain too, so I'm going to stop with that. But essentially, here's the idea. We have these levels. Here, here, and here. What will happen, just like what we saw recently, is that when we hit these levels, the price of Bitcoin will shoot up because so many of these short sellers are forced to close their short positions. And we have a good chunk of change. Again, about $6 billion of short positions all the way up to what, 74K? And we have resistance right up here. Our previous all-time high was about 74K-ish. So what I'm expecting is a short seller or like a short liquidation cascade. So a liquidation cascade is a series of short sellers that are forced to rebuy what they were selling. We could also have a long liquidation cascade to the downside where we have all these leveraged longs and the price is falling and then it hits and triggers that they're forced to sell. They have to panic sell everything that they had, pushes it lower, and there are all of these orders that are close together. So it just boom, 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 boom. It just closes it out real fast. So we're actually getting the bullish scenario ahead of us. I just want to make sure, because not all of you understand leverage trading and understand these concepts. So I want to make sure that people get the idea. It's all good. It's all really good stuff. So if we didn't even know about that, the chart still looks good. Just to talk about a couple of things from a TA perspective, the price, or rather in regards to the TBO, because we're talking about trend trading, which I love. It's literally right there. It's a great book. I highly recommend it, by Michael Covell. I see it all the time. I just don't think about it. Trend trading is one of the best ways to make money. I mean, case in point, Bendog. If you just bought and held and rode the trend from just a couple of days ago, it's up 280%. Absolutely crazy. That's bananas. Okay. Beer token is up from the third. It's up 150%. So trend trading is also one of the hardest ways to trade. It is, because it takes conviction. You have to really stick with the trend, and you need something to confirm that the trend is still strong, and something to let you know when the trend is weakening, and that's what the TBO does. So we're not going to worry about all of this stuff over here. We're just going to focus on where we are right now. So in regards to the TBO, we are looking at some really, really, really good stuff. The top line right here, this is called the TBO fast line. I'm sorry, I'm getting over a cold, so that's why I keep clearing my throat and stuff. I'm trying to drink some water and some coffee as I go, but we'll see. So the TBO fast line is the fastest moving average that makes the TBO the TBO. And then we have the medium fast, medium slow, and then the slow line, which we already talked about. So why am I showing this? Well, I made a post recently where I talked about this concept of the TBO lines, or basically all four of these lines comprise of the cloud. When all four lines are pointing up like this, or rather you're looking at it like this. So all four lines are angling up. That is a strong bullish sign. When the price of the asset, whatever it is above the cloud, which Bitcoin is, that means that it is strong bullish. Okay. This is a good sign. So even if Bitcoin has a minor pullback today, we do have this trend line. It would make sense to come back down to touch it at $70,400 or so. Going below it wouldn't be great, but we saw what happened yesterday. So even if it wicks down here to like 70K, it's not the end of the world. But so far, we're looking really good. So the trend is strong. The price is above. We're looking really strong. Now let's add in a couple of other factors, a couple of other indicators. I've been playing a lot with on-balance volume recently. Now it's no good for Bitcoin right now because it's been chop city. But the truth is that on-balance volume is above, and I'm using a 21 period smooth moving average, or SMA, or simple moving average. Sorry. So this is great because it's also a trend trading tool. Volume is really important, but knowing how volume is increasing or decreasing over time gives me some more information. Another good thing to know is that RSI on the daily time frame peaked over 70. So it was technically overbought, but not to an extreme degree. For what I follow with RSI, it was and still is overbought. Not a big deal though. This will fluctuate a lot. And I say that it's not a big deal because when we go to the weekly time frame, this is where things get exciting, because when RSI on the weekly is above 70, it is extremely bullish. I want to say that again and then take a nice swig of my non-sponsored Baristas Black Kilimanjaro Tully's coffee. That's how you say Kilimanjaro, I guess you'd say. Is that how you say it in English? Kilimanjaro? Whatever. It's that mountain in Africa. So anyway, when RSI is above 70 on the weekly time frame, the chart's bullish. Sit with that for a second. Kilimanjaro. That's how you say it here, at least. If you didn't believe me before, I'm going to prove to you why I'm right. And you're going to love the reason. We won't even stay with this market. We're going to go back here. We're going to go back to the 2020 bull run. So here we have a little bit of a hump in July 2020. RSI flips from 67.72 on the weekly all the way to 78. This is bullish. Even though the price retraces and comes back down, as soon as we get above, just expect the trend to be bullish. Will it have a pullback? Yes. We had a bullish little pop right here. It fell down. And we have a RSI cross up 25 event, which I talk about all the time in the club. People know what I'm talking about there. That's a bullish event. So when we see this happen right here, we get this RSI is trending higher. We get a TBO breakout cluster, meaning it's 3 in a row on the weekly time frame. This is where things get parabolic fast. Okay. Now I want to reset. There we go. Where we are now. We had something similar to this back here. It wasn't a perfect cluster at all. But if I change this, I believe, to the standard setting, we had a perfect cluster right there. So we have 1, 2, 3, RSI is above 70. Things are bullish. Now I know we had a pullback, but I want you to see that the weekly time frame wicked right there into the TBO fast line. So it's still the fast line, even though it's the weekly time frame right there. Okay, I want to make this super duper clear. These are awesome. When we have an uptrend and there is a temporary market pullback, this is called a TBO springboard bounce. I talked about these a lot in March and February and March and April, because lots of charts that were coming up were having a quick pullback before they would bounce higher. The longer the time frame, the better this is. And we saw one of these dips back here the week of April the 29th. This has worked out extremely well. And it was a fantastic TBO springboard bounce from which we're up 24%. Okay. So again, we're looking good. And the reason why I'm making such a big fuss about this is because we made a new high here. This high over here, December 2023, is 93.53. Oh, sorry, this is 93.51. It was not a newer high. So we're going to see Bitcoin, I believe, make that liquidation short cascade to the upside, which is going to be bullish, because it's going to push Bitcoin higher and higher and higher. And we'll start making new highs. We'll start going. When? I'll talk about that in a second. Patience, patience. But for now, this is good. We are at resistance, literally right at resistance right now. If Bitcoin can do this liquidation cascade this week, boom, RSI is going to go up. But we're going to have a challenge ahead of us, because we need, in order for things to stay bullish, we need RSI on the weekly to go back up to these levels of a plus 90 on the weekly time frame, or max it out or beat it. Meet it or beat it. And we didn't beat the last one here. So we have a challenge ahead of us. Bitcoin has a challenge ahead of it. But things are looking good, again, because we have this liquidation cascade in front of us. So let's talk time frame. I'm giving away a lot of information that I've already shared over here in the Better Traders Club Discord server. Now, we are working on something right now that should make a lot of people really, really happy. And I just want to apologize for all of you that join my public server, which is relatively dead. That's because I spend 5 days a week, if not 6, over here in the club server. So the club server is where I spend the most time, where I post the most updates, where I have all these crazy alerts and chat channels and stuff. Like, there's trade setups, watch lists, DCA bot settings, like there's so much here. But I'm sharing this channel with you because all this stuff that I'm talking about with the TBO, I've been sharing lessons on this, which I call TBO trading, and it's on the public server as well, for months, literally for months, like maybe over 8 months now. And I'm going to continue to do it. But there's just way more content and value that's shared over here in the Better Traders Club server. And I have something really exciting coming, but I can't announce it yet. But just keep your eyes open for an announcement about the club. We want as many people to join the club and to get their hands on all the tools, the resources, the indicators, the extra videos that I that I share just for club members, not even here on YouTube. So all the stuff that I'm sharing, I've spent a lot of time talking about it in our market analysis channel. Now, I have tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of posts on here that I've been doing. Literally, I'm doing this all the time. There's so much content in here. It's crazy ridiculous. There's so much. But the main thing I need you to know is that what you're hearing today is kind of old news to people that are in the club. So all of you club members, thank you for joining. You might be a little bit bored, but you know what? A reminder doesn't hurt. So here's my hypothesis. I believe that we are going to continue to chop for at least another week or two in this zone. And I'm going to give you the sauce. I'm going to give you something really, really juicy right now. So if you haven't hit the like button already, again, go ahead and just, I don't know, do it. But I'm going to give you some alpha, some really interesting insights that are going to help you with the next pullback, because there's always going to be another pullback. There will always be another. I have a video about that. I'm waiting for all of you that have joined that haven't hit the like button to hit the like button. Wait, is it there? No, it's there. It's down there. I'm waiting. Waiting. Oh, thank you so much. And feel free to share, post this on X, post it whatever, get other people to join the stream. That'd be awesome. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. All the fun stuff you're supposed to say. I know, super annoying, but I want to make sure that you guys are doing that, because if you want me to keep this up, I need to know that you guys are interested in what I'm doing here in this content, okay? And I have a lot more to share with you. I know we're 30 minutes in. We're gonna go for a while. There's a lot to share. So this is not like your normal typical live stream. We're going deep, and I'm excited, okay? So let's talk about this concept first and why I think we're going to continue to chop until the middle of this month or the end. But after that, I think we're going up higher. And this is nothing new. I've been sharing this concept for at least the last 2 months, this trading theory. And so far, it's holding up really well. So first, let's talk about this concept of pullbacks. Maybe you've seen something like this. I actually had a really interesting conversation with DZ from around the blockchain. Great guy, really fun host. I haven't been on the show in a long time because the time zone thing and daylight savings just does not. I don't want to wake up at 4 in the morning for that show. I love you, DZ, but no way, man. Nuh-uh. So when we had this little fake out event here, when all of the crypto banks were being attacked, Silvergate, oh, it's been so long. It's over a year and a half ago. Gosh, there were like three crypto-friendly banks that were being attacked by the SEC and being forced to shut down. And when that happened, it scared the crypto market because they had a good amount of the funds that backed USDC, and the value of USDC dropped to like 90 cents per one USDC, which is great arbitrage opportunity. So buying there, it's going to repeg back to a dollar. I mean, it's USDC. It's not Terra Luna's USD. Sorry, PTSD for some people. But we had a pullback of about 22% and a quick, sharp recovery that only took about 4 days. Just bookmark that. Then we saw another pullback that took way longer. We have this high here on April 4th, 2023, and then to our low here. Wait, what is this? The low? Yep, this is the low right here. 20% took 62 days, 2 months, but we had a really quick recovery of 8 bars, 8 days. So we got 22%, 20%. Let's keep going. Then we have another 21% pullback. This one actually went lower, 21.68% pullback. Also took about 2 months, 61 days. This recovery, though, took a lot longer, but thanks to the Cointelegraph intern making that fake news announcement, which turned out to be real news, it helped push the price of Bitcoin up from 27K all the way to a glorious 73K, right? But on that move up higher, we got this wick up, and then we have a wick down. We have a pullback of 21%. It's interesting. So we have so far just to refresh your memory, 22%, 20%, 21%, 21%, and took about 20 days to recover. And I classify a recovery as meeting the previous wick. Okay. Then most recently we had a pullback that lasted 48 days, not 60, but 48. And it dropped the most, down 23%. So just to recap, there's an interesting thing that's been happening ever since January of 2023. 20-ish% to 22% pullbacks have been a normal thing for Bitcoin. Now, unfortunately, the recovery time varies significantly. 4 days, 8 days, 41 days, 20 days. Currently, we're looking at this recovery. And again, I deem a recovery when the price of Bitcoin goes back up to the previous high. So I still think it's going to be a couple of days. The longest we've seen this take is 41 bars. So 41 bars puts us to June 11th. I think it could take a little bit longer. It just depends on that short liquidation cascade, right? So I'm sharing all this with you because I want you to see Bitcoin from multiple perspectives, with the TBO, with TA, with trend lines, and also looking at it from a different TA perspective in regards to price action, because we want to identify patterns. A good trader can identify patterns and spot them before you even start drawing on the chart. And I know some of you are like that already, and good on you. Okay, so good on you. I'm not Australian, obviously. No. I don't know how do you guys say that. No. Sorry, I apologize to all of my Australasian people watching the stream right now, or subscribers. Kilimanjaro. It's actually pretty good coffee for canned coffee, which is super duper normal in Japan, by the way. I know in America it is not. It's like, that's disgusting. Maybe it's popular now, whatever. But my theory is that Bitcoin will break those liquidation. Well, it'll hit that liquidation short cascade to the upside, and it will break above 74K in about, let's see, we're looking at about 9 days up until another 25 days. So it could take a little bit longer, but we know the trend is strong. We know that things are cooking, that things are looking good, that volume is there. Okay. How high could it go? So let's do that question next. We want Caudapiece. Yeah, Caudapiece. It's actually pretty good. I mean, the first time I saw, well, as you would say it in English, Calpiss, I was like, I am not buying a cloudy, milky white drink called Calpiss. That's disgusting. But actually, Caudapiece, much like many phrases in Japanese, it's just truncated. Karu is short for karada, which means body, and piece is peace. So karu piece, karada ni peace, like peace to your body. If they asked me though, as an American, like English speaker, I'd be like, guys, you should really change the spelling, but they didn't ask me. I offer my services to the people and the marketing companies in Japan. They don't ask me. So we get fun stuff like Calpiss. Okay, so how high could Bitcoin go? All right, good question. We're going to use some fib levels. Again, I'm giving you guys the special sauce. Right now, we're looking really good. We're above two very important fib levels. So how high could we go? Where do we have our next Fibonacci levels? I know. For those of you that cannot see that level, that says 100,000 US dollars. Here's the truth. There will be levels on the way up that Bitcoin will struggle at. It's normal. I've seen people talk about 80 or 90 or 85K or whatever. Sure. Yeah. And we could draw a fib retracement here. And yeah, we could see struggle just below 80K, struggle at 87K. But really, The next significant level where we will see a lot of pushback for Bitcoin is right here at 100,000 US dollars. I want to talk psychology for a minute, okay? Trading and investing is as much managing your risk as it is understanding market psychology and crowd psychology, groupthink, okay? There are lots of excellent books that talk about this, but here's the thing. Round numbers with lots and lots and lots of zeros, be careful, because when we have round numbers with lots and lots of zeros at very, very, very big numbers, or numbers that start a new sequence, or like a multiple of 50, right? There's going to be an immense amount of selling pressure there. People will see that number and they're going to think, gosh, that's a lot of zeros. I'm going to put my sell order right there. Because even buying Bitcoin at 60K and selling it at $100,000, like that's a good return on investment. Could Bitcoin go higher? I do think it could go higher. This little choppy period right now isn't so great, but mark my words, I am totally confident to say that there will be a challenge for Bitcoin to move above $100,000. Now, I'm going to speak to everyone in 2 years from now, okay? When we hit the top of the cycle, which I think could be around 150K or so, when we fall down, $100,000 will be an artificial floor of support because it has so many zeros. It will break. I'm fairly confident it will break. And then we'll see the price of Bitcoin come down to about 70K, and that will be the bottom, most likely. And then we start the whole thing again, okay? The reason why $100,000 is going to be hard for Bitcoin to break is because so many people are paying attention to the USDT price of Bitcoin, irrespective of other currencies, okay? It's a big number. It's a lot of zeros. And it's also $100,000. Think about how Bitcoin reacted when it approached 20K. Now, this is speaking to all of you that have been trading crypto for a while, okay? We're going back over here to December. I have to keep going. Good grief. Come on. There we go. So December 2017, the price of Bitcoin across many exchanges got as high as $19,750 or so. It got so close to 20K. But isn't it interesting that it struggled so much at 20K? Now, amazingly, when we got to 10K, or getting close to there, look at all this. See this price action right here? There was struggle for a couple of days at 10K, but then it finally broke above. Now, we want to be, I'm getting ahead of myself talking about parabolas and stuff, but when we get to those kinds of numbers with lots of zeros, specifically 10,000 mark or so, right? 60,000, 70,000 was a challenge, right? And then we came down here to where 60K, 70K to 60K, 70K, it went below 60K to 70K again. You get it? So numbers have a lot of meaning in trading, but especially in crypto. The other thing I need to remind you of is that the cryptocurrency market is a very, very, very small market. Bitcoin's total market cap is, last I checked, it's still below silver. Now, when things get really bullish, that will change, but compared to the entire stock market, compared to the commodities market, the bond market, it's just like this little sliver of money compared to all these massive, massive, massive markets. Therefore, it is easily manipulatable, it's easily spooked, and it's also very emotionally driven. I'm trying to give you as much information as I can possibly share with you right now to prepare you for the reality that once Bitcoin gets even close to 100K, there will be extreme volatility. Now, will it push up above it? I think it's likely to happen, but if it doesn't, don't say I didn't warn you that 100K is going to be very difficult to pass, okay? All right, let me see how we're doing in the chat. Okay, We're good. We're good. We're good. Richard asks, do we expect a strong pullback to 61K after 74K? That would, I mean, maybe, but I don't see it. I'm not feeling it. If it happens, it happens, but we do have clear support right here at 61,327 because of a Fibonacci extension from the, this would be from the 2018 market, I believe. It's not bad. I mean, if we pull down again, that's fine. We really want to stay above the cloud, but if we hit, or rather, when we hit that liquidation cascade at 72, 73, 74K, there's nothing to really stop it and make it fall down again. I think we're just going to continue to move up on our merry way to 100K, and I think it'll take some time. Good. I've spent an embarrassing amount of time talking about Bitcoin, about 45 minutes, but I also want to share this to remind you of something extremely important. So I trade against, or I trade with Bitcoin. I trade alts with Bitcoin. So BTC pairs. When Bitcoin has this liquidation cascade, if you have positions open trading with Bitcoin, but trading alts with Bitcoin, be extremely careful. You do not want to be holding a position using Bitcoin to buy BNB, Solana, Ethereum, or whatever, trying to increase your BTC stack when Bitcoin's bullish, because nothing's going to be able to keep up with it, and it's going to be bad news. You're going to be holding a bag that will continue to fall and fall and fall. Okay? So just understand that it's extremely risky right now to trade against Bitcoin. You can do it. I have been doing it, but I'm also mentally prepared to go, nope, cut it. And you have to be ruthless, because it's not worth DCAing a BTC paired altcoin position. Just trust me, years of experience here, speaking from experience, it's not worth it. It's not. Okay. Let me talk about, let me see, how are things going here? Okay, good. Let's talk about Ethereum. So Ethereum's been pretty boring in my professional opinion, but the main thing I'm seeing that I didn't really pay attention to before is that on balance volume looks great. Now, the price action's been insanely boring. We had an incredible day, up 20% in a day, unheard of. And we've been seeing the price of Ethereum struggle at a specific price level. Gasp, it's the TBO resistance level at 39.39. So we got to wick into it, but no, eventually it's going to break, because when Bitcoin has the liquidation cascade to the upside, everything's going to follow. Not to the same magnitude, but everything will follow. But Ethereum looks okay-ish. It looks all right. It's not amazing, just because it's so boring. It's been so sideways. But there are other coins that have been doing extremely well, like BNB. The Binance coin has a new all-time high. 2 days ago, it shot up 9%, which is incredible. And the reason why this happened is because it broke out of midterm resistance. Note the same thing. We have resistance established here, pierce, pierce, test, break, boom. And this is an explosive breakout. Now, it's looking a little bit weak right here, price action wise. So it could see a little bit of a pullback, but still, this will continue to move up higher. I don't see why it wouldn't. And people that are in the Better Traders Club for the month of May and June, I recommended this chart for a DCA bot, and I believe I made a template for it, but if not, sorry. But it's been excellent for DCA bot trading, because all these little whips back and forth, really nice gentle price action, and then pops to the upside. It's good. It's been a really good chart. And on the weekly time frame, we have a TBO breakout. That white dot right there lets us know that we should expect explosive price action to the upside. This is the weekly. The other thing that makes me bullish on BNB too is that the weekly on balance volume looks incredible. I mean, this white line right here, which is the smooth moving average, 21 SMA, looks fantastic. And remember what I talked about before with RSI? It's above 70. So even though it might have a small pullback, don't flinch. Like, BNB will continue to rally up higher. And because it made a new all-time high, it's going to continue moving. How high could BNB go? That's a wonderful question. And for that, I'm going to use my handy dandy Fibonacci retracement. So we're looking at just below $1,000, which makes sense. $1,000 has a lot of zeros, and then a possible top at $1,500. So yeah, pretty decent. But I mean, the chance to accumulate was all the way back here when no one wanted to buy BNB, which is me. I didn't want to touch it at all, so I never got any. So let's keep going. Another coin that's been interesting to watch has been Stacks. This one has actually been really fun to watch because it's had such an amazing run. If you look at Stacks performance from back here in October or so, where we started this rally, it had an incredible rally of 600%. Now, of course, everything had this major pullback from April 1st, jokes on us, but it's looking really good again, mainly because of a couple of things. One, and I'll make this super duper clear first, we have a trend line that has been broken, kind of similar to BNB, right? That's the first point that's really interesting. Two, we have our Fibonacci retracement, and we saw a clear test of the 236 level and a bounce up, and then we stopped to the next one. I like this kind of price action, just going bop 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 bop. So we should see a little bit of resistance here at 2.87 at the 618, but it's still really good. And the other thing about this that's really good is the TBO. The TBO has told us right here. See that little orange dot right there? It's one of my favorite symbols for the TBO, and that's called the TBO close short. What it tells us is that the current short position, indicated by the pink triangle here, could be coming to an end soon. Therefore, you might want to take profit on your short position because the trend could be switching to something more bullish. And the closer that this is to TBO support, right here, this green dotted line, the better it is, the stronger the signal it is. We saw that push on the 4th of June, up 13%. Yesterday, it moved up 12%. We'll round up. So it had two really big days. And what's happening now? The price is above the cloud. The cloud is not yet bullish, but this is letting us know things could be changing. And I expect this to, and many charts, to do something similar to what Stacks is doing right now. So this chart's looking great. And we also had some extra signals that I haven't shared yet. And I'm really excited, but I cannot go into details yet. But I've been teasing this out to people in the Better Traders Club server, specifically the people that are in the pro tier. But these little green triangles, you've actually been using these for a long time. You just didn't know it. And I'm really excited to share this with you, but I have to wait. But these are awesome. Like, these are fantastic entry points for this chart. But I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to ruin the surprise. It's a good surprise. Okay. All right, let's keep going with some of the bigger coins and tokens we have. Now, Render. This is an AI play. I still think it's important to look at AI coins. On my YouTube channel, I have a video, and I don't think I can reference it fast enough. Let me see. Let me find my stuff. Hold on a second. Here we go. This video. How do I do this? Okay, I don't want it to play though, because it's going to be super annoying. There we go. This video right here. Let me go to the browser. Boom. Okay. So I'm going to mute it for a second. This video goes into a ton of detail in regards to how I would get my portfolio organized. And AI coins is 20% of my suggested portfolio. I actually have a bigger holding of that. This is just like a suggested portfolio, period. That's a suggested portfolio, okay? So I want you to understand that there's a good reason why I have Render here, and I'm sharing it with you. Now, Render hasn't been super sexy, even though NVIDIA has been, and other AI coins have done a lot better, but Render is big, and they have a good partnership with Apple. And what's happening right now? Literally the same thing we've been talking about. We have our trend established here with this wick, test, and a pierce, test, pierce, break. So right now we are in a sweet spot with Render. So this is just with the trend line. We just talked about this several times before. Let's look at the TBO. How does the TBO look? The TBO looks amazing. It looks awesome. If we look at the slow line, which gives us a sense of the strength of the trend, it's up. If we look at all of the other lines of the TBO right here, the medium slow, the medium fast, and the TBO fast line, they're all pointing up. That means it's a strong trend. We're breaking above resistance. We do have TBO resistance plotted at 1140. We have resistance up here at 1350 or so. I'm not worried about it. This is a strong break. It looks good. If we go to the weekly time frame, the trend has been strong for a while. Note, we have TBO breakouts right there. See those white dots right there? 3 in a row. Tic-tac-toe, 3 in a row. That's an amazing signal. Even though the price goes down 23%, it shot up another 200%. Don't fade those signals. We're looking really good and we're looking really strong. I expect render to perform extremely well this bull market. I think it's going to go a lot higher personally, and that's why I have a good chunk of render. Okay, I want to share another one, Tau, with you. BitTensor or Tau. This one has actually been excellent for trading, especially on faster time frames. So you can see here on the 4-hour, these are the TBT divergence signals that, yes, you can use on multiple time frames, and identified. Again, it's all about patterns. Looking for a pattern. So we have a cluster of these divergence signals. Chart moves up 20%. Another cluster, 24%. Another cluster, 30%. Another cluster. So we're looking to take profit at about 18%. We're just going to be really, really cautious here. And this red line right here is not for stop loss, it's for a DCA level. So this is actually one of our trade setups from the Better Traders Discord server over here. And I can't go down into all of them because we have lots of open setups right now. But this is just one of many trade setups that we have. And we're currently sitting pretty. We're looking pretty good, currently at about 9% profit. Nice little trade. Okay, so this indicator, TBT divergence, gave me confidence on that. Plus, when I couple it with the TBO, there's support right there. There's a closed short right there. Like, this is a winning trading system, okay? But Tau, nonetheless, I expect it to do very well. I expect it to return back up and go a lot higher. So why take profit here? Because I'm trading. But I can keep a little bit of a bag on the side, right? So now we're into some tokens that are a little bit, actually a lot riskier. So Floki has done extremely well. Again, I mean, I don't even have to try. Look, right here, TBO breakout cluster on the daily time frame. 1, 2, 3. Even though it's a red day, yes, it's a breakout. What happens next? Floki shoots up 470% over 11 days. This is why I use the TBO. This is why I use the breakouts, because they're great signals. Making it even juicier, TBT divergence bullish signals happened how many days before? A month before, giving us an even better return on investment. This is insane. Okay, so what do we have here? Boom, we got one new breakout. Now, one breakout's good. 2 more is even better. If we see that, I don't think it's going to move to the same extent, but the market is bullish. Now, even without looking at that, how does the cloud look? Does it look decent? Yes, the TBO cloud looks incredible. The slow line is angling up, medium slow is up, medium fast, and the fast is up. It's actually made a new high. So this chart's going to continue to rally up higher. At least I believe that that's happening. On the weekly time frame, we're at 79. Price is looking really good. Like, it's an amazing chart. Okay, so it's a doggy coin. It's not Doge. I don't think Doge is going to do that well, to be honest, because it already did its thing. We've already seen Doge have an incredible run in 2021 thanks to Elon. So other coins, other meme coins are now going to have their turn. And I do believe that it's AI and meme coin season, that these are the coins to focus on. Case in point, BenDog. Good grief. Yesterday alone, BenDog shot up 101%. A huge part of this is thanks to it being listed on Bybit. Over here, BenDog has shot up like crazy. Like in an hour period right here, we got it shooting up 30% in 1 hour. Now, this is what a short liquidation cascade looks like to the upside, where people are shorting thinking, well, it can't go higher. Yeah, it went up another 30%. People are thinking that this is the top. Could it be the top? Maybe. But if the trend is bullish, I'm really not going to fight against the trend. It doesn't make sense to fight against the trend. Now, zooming out to the daily time frame, I get it. Moving up one day 101% is insane. And we've hit the 1.272 at fib extension. So we could see a top here and a significant pullback. But even if we see a pullback, this for me is a buy the dip situation. You, your own person, I'm looking at this as a buy the dip situation. That's how I'm treating Ben right now. Ben Dog. Okay. Another one, beer. Now, beer is having a pullback right now. It's down 11%, but this chart has literally just listed, which makes me love it even more. Ben Dog has actually been on exchanges for a while. Here on Gate.io, it listed March 2024. So it's been around for the last 82 days, almost 3 months. Beer, it was on decentralized exchanges, I believe. I have to go like this, don't I? There we go. So it's been around. Oh, it's going to be an ugly chart too. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't look. No, I couldn't. I think it is a Solana coin, but whatever. The main thing I like about this chart though is that it's had an explosive move. So is it going to have a pullback? Are pullbacks normal? Yes, I think they are. It's having a pullback right now. Not really worried about it. This is honestly just juicy trading. I want to tell you that if you are comfortable with leverage trading and you know how it works and you know how to manage risk, you can make a ton of cash with this. Looking at beer here on Bybit, scalping it on the the 5 minute time frame, like it's making a 4% candle in a 5 minute period. Absolutely bananas, insane. Absolutely insane. We got these candles, like these are 4%, 4%, 4, 6.89%, 10% in a 5 minute period. Like this candle right here, that's massive. I'm going to tell you this, and I want you to hear me. Even though this chart looks admittedly terrifying, if you want to make money, go where the volatility is. Charts like this are an incredible gift. Even if you're stuck and you have to DCA out, just chill. Because if we know that Ben Dog shot up 100% yesterday, if we know that tons of other meme coins have had incredible runs recently, then I look at a chart like beer and I go, I'm going to buy the dip. I'm just going to wait and buy the dip because there's a better chance of this one moving up higher, returning, doing all the fun whippy stuff because it's just going crazy. And we're at that point in the market with a lot of these coins, these meme coins, that they're going to just shoot up out of nowhere. And then you're going to be able to trade that little volatility, but just keep a little bag. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, Bohm, great example. Bohm has done a pretty amazing job. I bought some way back down here and just kind of holding on to it because why not? It's Bohm. Like you just kind of sit on it. Just same thing as Floki, same thing as Mog, same thing as beer, all this stuff. Like these are stupid tokens that are highly manipulatable, which is great. It's great for trading. All right. Last one I want to share with you is a new listing, BB. Now, this one looks a little bit terrifying. See that? Let me do this. See those green arrows right there? Now, I didn't catch that. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I wish I did. But that's amazing. Not only do we have these happening at support, but we got 3 right there. I wouldn't call it a cluster, but what an incredible entry that is. And this one's just getting started because it's a new listing. Again, if you watch the video on YouTube where I talk about all this stuff, I talk about the importance of paying attention to new listings. You have no idea how valuable new listings are. There are exchanges that have new listings that are garbage. There are exchanges that are worth paying attention to. I'm going to give you the short and easy answer because you've watched into this point and I know you've already hit the like button. Waiting on those of you that haven't yet. Thank you. So focus on Coinbase. Binance would be second, but coins that are newly listed on Coinbase, pay attention. This is the time to be accumulating coins like that have no prior history and that could shoot up hundreds of percent, in thousands of percent. It's completely possible. It's ridiculous. I know it sounds silly, but look at this chart here for BB. Newly listed over here. Don't worry about the listing pump right here. Yes, it was down here at 2 cents. I would love to grab this just like anyone at 2 cents. It's probably not going to do that again. But the important thing is that charts like this can continue to move. There's no prior history. The sky's the limit. So if there is a trend in play and you can be a part of that trend, you can jump on that trend, and you have useful tools to help you buy the dip and sell the top like this, making it super duper easy, giving you bullish breakouts. It's just easy money. Easy, easy, easy money. Okay? It's crazy. Okay. All right, let me remind you about something. Where am I? Browser. Okay. So I had a lot of other stuff I wanted to share with you in regards to this, to the scanner. I wanted to look at some charts, but honestly, we don't really have to. But I wanted to let you know that over here, we finally added Bybit. So Bybit is now an supported exchange on the Better Crypto Scanner, specifically for all of the leveraged markets. So when you go to leveraged market, you can't see the drawdown right now, unfortunately, but it says USDT:USDT. This is the futures market, okay? There are also lots of weird markets. We're trying to work that out right now, but this is great because we can now spread or show all the spreads. And yes, Ben Dog is at the top. Beer's there, IQ is up there. So you're using the same scanner, but now Bybit is supported. Yay, 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 yay. So if you like that, share the scanner with people. It's an amazing tool. It's ridiculously awesome. But do share it. So that'd be awesome. And people that have taken our courses, you know about that. So I want to let you know that I have courses at thebettertraders.com teaching people how to use automated trading tools. I saw someone ask in the chat, do you use any trading automation site for signals? Well, I use TradingView, but I execute those trades on AltTrading. I've also used 3 commas in the past and also Pionex, but I'm mainly using AltTrading right now. I want to encourage you that if you got some spare cash, at least get the Account Builders course. This course is going to help you like so much. Then the need to have course for most people that are looking to get into bot trading and automated trading is 15 Minutes Financial Freedom. It's a crazy valuable course. It comes with coaching. It comes with a trial of the TBO. There's so much value in this course. And for those of you that have that, or you're looking for a shortcut and you want a little bit extra like this video, but way more frequent watch lists, trade setups, all that fun stuff, you got to go to the club. The Better Traders Club is the place, like I said at the beginning, it's where I spend the most time with our members. I share market updates, I share trade setups, watch lists, DCA bot settings. We have incredible indicators like the TBO indicator, like I showed you before, TBT divergence, which is coming soon. All this other great, like there's so much, I can't really talk about all of it. But it's the coolest thing ever, because I wish I had something like this when I got started, honestly, because I was following random Telegram groups, random people on Twitter, and everyone has their own agenda and stuff. Like, this club has been such a godsend for so many people that have had crazy results. Now, it does matter on the market, it's true, but there's a ton of stuff that's included in the club. The link for this is down below. I would highly recommend you to join the club. Now, for all of you that are like, oh, money's tight, I don't know, we have a starter tier for $7. It's just, I mean, it's as much as a cup of coffee at some places, depending on where you are, or a fancy coffee, but it gets you access into the club. You get market updates, you get tools to get you started. But the trader tier is really where you want to end up, because you get access to the TBO, 800 plus alerts for the TBO automatically forwarded to Discord, tons of other stuff. But if you're just getting started, definitely get the starter tier. It's a great deal. It's only $7 a month and you get so much out of it. Okay. So that's my shameless plug for that. Let me take a quick look at the chat here. So Do I use any? Okay, I already asked that. I already answered that. I already answered that. Thoughts on Phantom? It's interesting because I saw lots of people talking about Phantom a while ago, and I didn't really see anything interesting on the chart, to be 100% honest with you. Phantom still looks pretty boring. Last I checked, at least, because I saw all these people like, oh, all this stuff's happening on chain. No, I mean, the trend is up on the weekly. It looks somewhat decent, but it's pretty boring. I mean, the time to buy Phantom was back here in October 2023, and it's still not even that great. But it's not looking amazing. It's not terrible, but I don't really see what people are so excited about, to be honest. Now, just to clarify a couple of symbols here with the TBO, see that blue dot right there? That's called the TBO close long. This is the opposite of a TBO close short. So this is telling us that if you have an open long position, you might want to consider taking some profits because the trend could go back down. So it also is just a good reminder to take profits. Now you're taking profits at a loss, actually, so you're kind of taking a loss, but it just doesn't look that strong yet. When will that change? Well, it'll change when Phantom goes back up here to test TBO resistance at 93 cents. That's when it'll start to look bullish. The truth is that it has been, oops, sorry. There we go, I want to do this. It already broke out above support. So that's good. It has that working for it. So now we have a new line. It's just, I don't see any energy behind it. So unfortunately, Phantom is kind of boring in my eyes. Okay, great. Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for joining me today. Yeah, again, I cannot recommend enough for you to join the Better Traders Club. There's more stuff coming to Discord. We have other things that are happening. I'm really excited to share that with you. But again, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. After this, if you're new and you just kind of stumbled on this watch stream, I want you to go into my long form videos and I want you to watch the video on how to get rich in the 2024 bull market. And until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace. And I just realized I don't have an outro video. Do I have an outro? I have an outro.